All right. So, when you have your first kid, for me, I don't think there's any feeling that can begin to describe it. There was it was crazy, Tori. You know, during the labor, you know, your heart rate dropped while you were, you know, being born, and all these doctors came rushing in everywhere. Something happened there. You know, I was in like this weird mindset where I was just like already like, you know, what's going on? What on earth is going on? You know, I think I was 24. Well, you're 11, so yeah, I was 24, and I was just like, okay, you know, it's happening. Oh my gosh, you know, and then all these worries and, you know, excitement and happiness and, you know, fears and all this stuff's just going on at one time. For me, this is how it was, you know, and it was like, well, you know, a good experience to an extent, but terrifying. So they had this like alarm when I wasn't like an alarm, but it was like a sound, you know, like a chiming. And next thing I know, doctors and nurses, they come, you know, and I don't know how many it was. In my head, it was like 50, you know, but in reality, it was probably like 7 to 10. And but it wasn't that big of a room. And so I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, you know, they're not telling us what's going on, you know, and in your head, you have all these ideas, you know, like, I hope they don't have to use a suction cup on her, which, you know, is this thing that attaches to your head. And I don't know why, that was just something that stuck out in my head that was like, I didn't want that to happen. And I don't know why, I just didn't. And you know, sure enough, this doctor grabs this thing and you know, gets it on your head and yanks you out, you know. And you know, they tell us, well, the umbilical cord is around her neck, and you know, the baby's heart rate's dropping, we got to get her out, you know. This is how they weren't asking me no questions, you know, but they're letting me know. And so while they're letting me know, I guess I'm gonna imagine my face was, you know, something like, you know, probably more concerned. Let's see, I'm not gonna make faces, but maybe it was like this. I don't know, you know, somewhere in between there. I think it was more like that. One of those. Somewhere in between all of this. And I had a hat on. And the doctor was like, hey, you know, hit me on my hat. I was like, what? You know, like, you out of your damn mind right now? And I looked at him, and he was just like, you know, like, get it together. You know, get it together. I think he didn't want your mom to be scared, you know, because she can't see anything that's going on. And, you know, the pain and all that, you know. So, you know, that happened, and, you know, they sucked you out. And, you know, it was just like, it was surreal. And then there you were. And then I held you. You know, I cut the umbilical. You're the only one I cut the umbilical cord with. Maybe that means something, you know. I don't know. Maybe that's why we're so tight, because I separated you from the bond, the physical bondage of you and your mother. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, stay still. Don't be tripping. See, I got this propped up kind of funny. Come on, man. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Okay. I don't like it. I get it. I had it on a charger, but it is what it is. It was on a charger, and then it was sitting on the cord. But yeah, so anyway, and then I held you, and you were pretty. You know, you were really pretty. And I don't know why. I feel like I remember there being like glitter on your back. You know, after they wiped you down, it seemed like your back was like sparkling. It's probably hair. But you know, I held you and I was just like, you're like 5 pounds, 8 ounces or something like that. Maybe 5 pounds and 9 ounces. I think that's what you were. I know you were born in the daytime. It wasn't night. I think Carson and Aiden were both born at night. And yeah, they were. So anyway, you know, I held you, and I remember I was just like, I have never loved more than I felt love at that moment. You know, they say a mom is a mom when she finds out she's pregnant, you know, because as a mom, you're already caring for the baby, you know, with your, you know, your physical being. You're giving nutrients, you're providing life for the baby, you know, during, you know, prenatal incubation. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I think so. And it was like, you know, and for a father, it's like you don't become a dad until the baby's born. You know, I would talk, you know, try to talk to you, you know, while you're in your mom's stomach so you could hear my voice, say things like, this is your father, don't do drugs, stay away from boys, and always look both ways before you cross the street. I'm just kidding. I don't know what I said. But I remember the first day I was holding you. I think your mom was asleep, and I was just holding you, walking around, and I kept singing that, you know, I love you, baby. If it's quite all right, I need you, baby, for all those baby nights. And I'll always hold you and keep you close, my baby bear. And, you know, I've sang that to you my whole life, your whole life, rather. And you've always been close in here, you know, out of anybody in this world. That keeps me grounded. You know, I've known you 11 years. You keep me grounded. You know, you were 3 years old, I think, 2 or 3. I think you were 3 when I started, or about, excuse me, about to turn 3. I'm pretty sure. You might have been 2. I don't know. Either way, but I think you were 2 when I started traveling, going out of town, and we were always real tight. You know, I would be laying on the couch at, you know, the apartment. I think your mom was working at Olive Garden. And you'd be right there with, just like Skylar is now, you know, you'd be right there with me. You know, Skylar's more on my face. I don't know what that's all about, but you were always nuzzled up to me. And, you know, you had colic real bad, and we'd go to these Bible studies or church, and people would trip out because I was always the one. And that's not to put your mom down. I was the one because I was kind of a control freak. You know, but I would have your car seat and I'd just be swinging your car seat, you know, until you stop crying. And then if I put it down, you start crying, I'd grab it and I'd just start swinging it again, you know, trying to make you, to console you, you know. Oh, rewind, you know, when we lived in this crappy mobile home, you know, the day you were born, we signed a lease for our new apartment. And I spent, you know, I went, you're born, and then while everybody was sleeping at like 2 in the morning, I jetted to the, I want to say Grandma and Papa and Auntie Rose helped a little bit. I want to say that. I believe they did. They might have helped more than a little bit anyway. But, you know, they went home at some point, and I was still all night long moving to the new place, because the other place was really like, drafty, and there's a lot of dust, and you know, we were worried about, you know, you getting sick or it affecting you. And you know, then I went back, and I drank like 10 Monsters that day. And you know, I went back, and you know, Aunt Mona came. I think Aunt Mona came, and we were we were there, and you know, she held you. I think Tracy brought a cake, something like that. Aunt Bond, Uncle Brian, obviously, you know, all your aunts and uncles came, and you know, that was just, you know, the way it went. But I was changing you. You know, you already know the story, but I was changing you, and you had pee, and then I heard this like this little, like, it looked like a black water balloon. It was real sticky. It wasn't sticky until I started wiping it, but it just came out like a water balloon. And I was like, what the hell is that? And you know, they're like, oh, it's natural, yada yada. And so you know, so anyway, I started working, went out of town. At that time, jobs were gone. You know, it was, you know, just a hard time in life for everybody in America. There were, I think the unemployment rate got to like 22%, got really high. And so I went and worked for this company called Calcraft, and you know, they were like, hey, you know, we don't need a mechanic. We can't afford a mechanic anymore. You know, so we gotta let you go. I quit going to school because I didn't want to get any more debt. And you know, I went and talked to Dan Insman, I think, and he was the owner. And I told him, like, hey man, you know, I just had a baby girl. I can't not work. I have to work. I think Aiden might have just been born, actually. So some time passed, and yeah, Aiden was born. And I was like, you know, I just had a baby boy, and I got a little girl. You know, I can't not work, man. I mean, I can't not work. I quit a job to come here, and you know, all this. And he's like, well, do you know construction? I was like, bro, I'll swing a hammer. You know, I can do anything with my hands. And he was like, all right, well, you know, we'll put you on the road. And I was like, on the road? And he was like, yeah, you know, you're going to go up to Sacramento, you know, all over California, and help build these gas stations. I was a helper. And I was like, all right, you know, job's a job. There, you know, people who are, you know, begging for jobs. And you know, I told your mom, and you know, I had to go. So I went, and I was gone for 5-6 days. And I came home. Excuse me. I came home, and you came running to the door. You know, you ran to the door. You know, thinking about it, I don't even know how you knew I was home. Maybe your mom was like, Danny's home, or whatever she said. I don't know. I think you probably heard my truck. I had like a real rumbly truck. And Dodge Dakota. I love that truck. A 97 SLT 4x4. BFG all-terrains. I digress. So yeah, the I opened the door, and I seen you like to the tail end of your running, and you stopped, and you went, and you turn around, and you walked away, and I was just like, oh wow, you know. And at the time, like, it really hurt. I was like, and then your mom was like, I think she's mad at you, and I was like, she's 2, you know, how should you be mad? And so, you know, thinking about it now, it's like, you know, I meant that much to you, you know, to where you were upset, you know, like, you left me with this woman. I'm just kidding. You didn't. You and your mom had a great relationship, but you know, you were just, you know, I was in your life every day. You missed me, you needed me, you wanted me, and all that stuff. You know, we hung out, went for walks, went to the pool. So, you know, that went on, and you know, we ended up moving to 4th Street. You know the story. You know what happened. Put on a powder blue dress, your little shoes, your little black shiny shoes, and decided to Rapunzel it out the window. And you know, I woke up, and I was just like, she's not here. And I was like, you know, and I just started running. Okay, where? Ran down. There was this cop, this bonehead cop. Like, not like, if this would happen now, being older and knowing, you know, what's up and how to, you know, what he should have done. But I told him, I was like, my daughter's missing. And he was like, haven't seen her. And then took off. And I was like, you mother. And, you know, didn't even, you know, he should have done more. He should have stopped. Said, where can she be? Okay, call. You know, it's a missing child. You know, and that was really what happened. This guy just took off. Like should have slapped him, but that wouldn't be good. But you know, then I got in the Escape and I started driving around, and you know, if I went out of our mobile home to the left and then to the right, and then it would go right again, it would wrap around like that and take you back out to the front. So as soon as I went this way, that way, and headed to the front, I seen you walking with Meow Meow, you know, walking with Doofus, and I was just like, oh my God, and my heart, you know, my heart just, there's so many feelings, you know, like happy, and then you were like, I got out of the car and you were just like, and I seen you from this far away, your dark brown hair, your dark brown eyes, and you know, I just ran, you know, I had the car, but I ran, and you know, I got you, and I just started hugging you. I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, he said, I just wanted to go for a walk with Meow Meow, and I was like, you know, okay, you know, and I tried to talk to you, you know, I remember I tried to talk to you. You understood to what you can. I think you were like 3 at the time, maybe 4, turning 4. And, you know, I think that was the first time my heart really sunk in my life. That feeling was like no other, you know, at that time. Skylar was born, that was a horse of a different color that I don't wish that on nobody. You know, but for that time, I've never had that kind of a feeling, like, you know, and then what happened with Carson too, that, you know, so this is before all that, you know, so, and I'm not belittling that, but, you know, different things happened that were far more severe. You know, you got stung by a bee one time, and, you know, women try to, like, hold you and make you stop crying, I think, you know, and pet you, you know, love on you and all this stuff. And dads are like, let's get to the problem, you know, fix it, and then get a hug after, you know. And I say that because this is what happened, you know. Your mom was like trying to hug you and, you know, all this, but at the time you were like going like this, and all I seen in my head was you pushing that stinger in more and more and more, and it hurting you more to get out. And so, you know, I was like, all right, stop, you know, and I was like, stop. You know, I didn't deal with everything right. You know, I was 27 at the time or something. And, you know, I got you to settle down, you know, and you man up, you know. Some people don't know that about you, but, like, when it's time to man up, you get it, you know. And you did back then. You're like, and I got your hand, and I got it out, and I was like, okay. And you're just like, okay, Daddy. And you hugged me. And I was just like, man, this kid. And, yeah, you know, I was just like this kid. And, you know, I say that because, you know, I was always trying to do what's right, you know, even when I didn't know how. But that memory sticks out in my head. You know, when you get older, you'll see you have these memories that, you don't know why you have them. You don't know why you remember it, you know. I have this memory with my mom. We went to Trader Joe's. I was in 8th grade. We just moved. We just had the pool built in Yucaipa. They. And, you know, they got this like metal. They still have the chairs, but yeah, I think they have I don't know if they have the table. But, you know, we're sitting at this table. We went to Trader Joe's, and we got these cookies. I think they're like sugar cookies, I guess. They're like had these spirals on them, and they're round, kind of like they look like a flower. And we got this lemon curd. It was in a little square jar, gold lid, blue, like kind of like a blue label with, you know, gold writing on it, and it was like fancy lemon curd, you know. And me and Grandma sat there, and we felt so fancy, you know. We felt so fancy. We had a house, you know. Probably how you guys feel right now in Beaumont, you know. Privileged, you know. privileged by your own merit, not just privileged, but, you feel grateful for it. And so, that memory sticks out, and my mom remembers that too. But we had so much fun, and I was never too cool. I don't think I was, I was never too cool for them. I always wanted to be with them. My problem was lack of time. I didn't get enough time with them that I really wanted and really needed, and so this is hard too, saying this kind of stuff, because you guys aren't going to have that with me for a little bit here. And I pray you guys allow me to make that up to you. Like I already said, the anger, the feelings, the disappointment, the letdown, the sorrow and all that. But don't feel bad for yourself going through what you're going to go through with the limited interaction we have right now, because that's not going to do you no good. It's if I go I go away and all I'm thinking about is all the bad stuff, I might do something really stupid. I might sock somebody up. I might sock the wrong guy up, and then he's got some buddies and they might let me know what time it is. But I have to be positive. I have to stay true to who I am. Hold on. Let's see if I